on the Mike Greenberg radio show yesterday saying if Kawhi gets his third Finals MVP this year, he's right behind LeBron on his all-time best player list. Kawhi has the advantage over LeBron in head-to-head meetings, having won 15 of their 25. That's including the playoffs. LeBron averaged 25, 8, and 7 in those meetings. Kawhi, 28 and 3. Now, LeBron with Miami won the 2013 Finals MVP against the Spurs when Kawhi was there. But Kawhi, he followed that up the next year by beating LeBron's Heat and taking the 2014 Finals MVP crown. Max, should the King be worried?
I disagree about the all-time list. It's not impossible, but Kawhi has an uphill climb to pass LeBron's legacy. LeBron has a very slept-on legacy. He is clear, like Jordan is one, and then LeBron and Kareem are duking it out for two in the modern era, really, and there's no one else really with a good argument there, to tell you the truth. Apologies to everyone else. But Kawhi would have an uphill climb. I'm talking about right now. Right now, either Kawhi or LeBron, if one of them wins it, is about to become the first player with Finals MVP, right? If their team wins it, they're likely to be the MVP of the Finals, unless AD takes it from LeBron. But ever in history, no one's ever won Finals MVPs with three separate teams. Kawhi has a chance to do it, and so does LeBron, and there's a chance they could meet, and the chance doesn't look as good today as it looked even yesterday or a couple of weeks ago in the Western Conference Finals to see who goes on to have a shot to do that. So absolutely, look, Kawhi could take it for right now. Stephen A., it reminds me of my two favorite subjects. That would be The Wire and Ali Frazier. So remember in The Wire when Proposition Joe told Marlo, and I'll try not to do a spoiler as I did last time. I treated you just like a son, and Marlo told him, who was taking over, I wasn't made to play the son. LeBron tried to do that to Kawhi. Come join me. Come join my team. Compete, and help just make this non-competitive. We're going to destroy everyone. And Kawhi said, nah, I'm going to go to your cross-hallway rival because I'm coming for you. Kawhi was coming for the crown. And Stephen A., the way it reminds me of Ali and Frazier is I don't want to hear bubble excuses right now about this. Because Ali was off for 4 years before he fought Joe Frazier. 3.5 years, then he had a couple fights, then he fought for... Well, he's past his prime, and he was past his prime. He wasn't as good as he used to be.
He lost the first fight.
Frazier was in his prime. And he lost the first fight, and Frazier took the throne. The throne was divided. The title was divided at the time because in Ali's absence, he was forced into exile undefeated. He still had the crown. But Frazier took it in Ali's absence. Now they're fighting to see, okay, but who's the undisputed champ? Frazier beat him. Ali's the greater fighter all the time, but Frazier beat him in that fight because he was in his prime. LeBron, he's a greater player and everything than Kawhi for his career, of course. He's a higher echelon than Kawhi right now, all time. But in terms of them playing, I don't want to hear a bubble excuse. LeBron, so Ali wasn't in his prime either. Kawhi is in his prime. LeBron is not quite anymore. They are duking it out to see who's going to be the first three-time Finals MVP with three different teams. One with three different teams. And I'm telling you, it's going to be Kawhi Leonard. So right now, if Kawhi does that, he's number one on the list today. He's ahead of LeBron, and he still has a shot at his legacy. It's an outside shot, but he has a shot.
Well, to me, your argument is profound if the Lakers and the Clippers are going up against one another. But if LeBron throws it to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and he goes 0 for 9, and Alex Caruso goes 0 for 6, and there's no Deion Waiters or J.R. Smith on the floor, and Anthony Davis suddenly it looks normal, we got a problem. So to me, it's a more profound argument if they're going up against one another because, all right, here we are. Let's get it on. It doesn't quite work that way, particularly in this bubble kind of situation, because so many things have gotten in the way. You could call it an excuse all you want to, but it's just reality. Life has been dramatically altered. We'll see what happens. But as it pertains to Kawhi catching LeBron, I will remind you that LeBron was the number one option before he even entered the NBA. He was the chosen one on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He came into the NBA with great expectations. The first game ever of his NBA career, he dropped 25 against the Sacramento Kings as a rookie in his first game ever, and he's never looked back. This is the guy that scored 29 in one quarter against a champion like the Detroit Pistons. This is a guy that went to the NBA Finals in 2007, going through everybody in the East in order to pull that off. This is a guy that has been the number one option with the number one responsibility and the most responsibility every single year in each franchise that he played. Kawhi Leonard was a fourth option behind Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, obviously Tony Parker. Yes, the last 3 games of that series against the Miami Heat when he won Finals MVP. He averaged 23 in the last 3 games on 68% shooting from the field. But the reality is LeBron averaged 28 in that series. Kawhi gets MVP for that. Then he gets MVP last year because there's no Kevin Durant to go against. There's really no Klay Thompson to go against because he had gotten hurt in game 2, missed the game, ultimately came back, tried to play a few games, but went down in game 6. By the way, when he went down in game 6, Klay Thompson had 30 in the third quarter. Okay, so there was likely going to be a game 7. These are the kind of things. And again, because you have that situation, you look at Kawhi Leonard and the responsibility that was placed on his shoulders. It's not just about what you do. It's who you do it against in competition. If Roger Federer was playing some no-name in tennis, it wouldn't be as significant as him beating Nadal or Djokovic or somebody like that, okay? Who you go against and who you knock off the throne matters. So come to me about Kawhi when that brother goes up against a LeBron and it's like, here I am, I'm going to give it to you. Let him go up against Kevin Durant. And instead of getting smoked in 6 games when you were 40-1 at home as a member of the San Antonio Spurs. Remember, they won the championship in 14. They got bounced out in the first round of the next game. The next year after that, they were 40-1 at home with a 67-15 record and got bounced out by KD, okay? So I'm just saying, let's pump the brakes just a little. We know he's all world. We know he's big time. But being that number 1 guy going up against monsters, come to me when he does that. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.